Hello everybody, God bless you. I'm Prophetess Shanique Beckford, and I started to type a post to make on Facebook, and I thought let me just do a video because that may just be a bit more effective. No, I find that a lot of people on social media and in general have a problem with just random persons getting up and giving themselves a title. Overnight some people become prophets, apostles, and all of these things. Some people actually become pastor this month, next month they are prophet, and by the third month they're actually apostles. And I find so many people have a problem with these people, but I don't think the problem is with these people, because they may just be delusional, they may just be I don't know what's wrong with them, and that's just the straight facts, and I'm being honest. The problem is us, because we have a problem with them having titles, but in the same breath with us having a problem, we are addressing them as such. I'm letting you know straight up, if you are not a prophet, I'm not going to address you as a prophet. If you are not an apostle, I'm not going to address you as an apostle. I mean, how on God's green earth, how do you become a doctor overnight? How do you go from Brother John Brown or Sister John Brown to being Dr. John Brown tomorrow morning, when you have never stepped foot into an academic institution? You don't even have an associate's degree, much less a bachelor's, for you to be a doctor. How does that happen? How did you just become a prophet overnight? Who confirmed you? Who released you? Who covered you? Who are you being held accountable to? How do you become an apostle? What does it take for one to actually become an apostle? What church are you leading? Who sent you? What's your function? Where did you come from? Where did you even come from? So I'm letting you know straight to the point. I'm not addressing you as such. As a prophet of God, first of all, I'm not even asking anybody to call me as prophet. I would rather to have a function than to have a title, and not have a function. And this is a problem, because this is why we have so much dysfunction in the body of Christ. I find that too many churches have been, having placeholders. If you do not have somebody that can play the keyboard, you're not just going to take a random person and put them on the keyboard if they can't play. It's going to be nothing. You're not going to get music. You're going to get noise. That's dysfunctional. If you have a Sunday school teacher who is good at being a Sunday school teacher, but you don't have an evangelist, you can't put someone who is called to be a Sunday school teacher to be an evangelist. You can't put a Sunday school teacher to fill in the office of a prophet. We keep having placeholders to hold certain things. You don't have a praise and worship person. You can't just take a random person to lead worship and expect them to bring the presence of God when that's not what they were actually called to do. You have people who have a family issues, personal character issues, whatever it is that they need true help, true deliverance with. We have them serving on pulpits and platforms, giving them titles, knowing that they have issues. This is why we have such a dysfunctional church. In some places, we have to get this thing right. Me not call you prophet if you're not a prophet. Me not going to address it as apostle, and I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. It's just the truth about it. A prophet, no prophet. Grace recognizes grace, and if you don't have it, you just don't. What is so wrong with being just a regular person? I would choose not to be a prophet, but to be a friend of God, but to be in the presence of God. You don't even have to have a title or to be a prophet or an apostle for you to actually have certain encounters with God, for you to know God. You can have a title and God don't even know who you are. Listen, I could do a whole teaching on this thing, but guys, blame on yourself. Stop blaming these people for having titles. Stop calling them as such if they actually are not. And then saying, how are you calling them such and they don't function, they don't this, they don't that? Then why are you even calling them to be a prophet? Why are you calling them prophets and apostles, but even talking about them behind closed doors? Doesn't that make you a hypocrite also? If they're not, they're not. So when you have a problem with them having a title or calling themselves prophet or apostle, and you call them as such, but then when you leave from their presence and you go behind closed doors, you're saying, I don't know how she become prophet, but then when you see them, you're like, hi prophetess, how much better are you than they are? Do you get what I'm saying? So we just have to do so much better in the body of Christ. I don't think people sign up for prophetic schools and trainings and all of these things because we feel that as a prophet you ought to know everything. As an apostle you just naturally know everything overnight. Nobody studies, nobody wants to be held accountable to someone, just sit at the feet of someone to be taught or trained. We just feel like we have it all figured out and we don't know anything. Be taught, be trained, sit under somebody. You don't get there overnight, yeah?